Now, more than 1,000 people have received awards in this year's Queen's Birthday Honours, billed as a reward for the people who've put the great into Britain. Remember that Jubilee concert outside Buckingham Palace? Well, its organiser, Take That star Gary Barlow, gets an OBE. The former Olympics minister, Tessa Jowell, who helped bring the Games to London, is being made a dame. As usual, there were gongs for celebrities like Oscar-winning actor Kenneth Branagh, knighted for his services to drama and Northern Ireland. And the writer Armando Iannucci, best known for the political satire The Thick of It, has been given an OBE. We don't actually know what his famously foul-mouthed character Malcolm Tucker would say, but Tucker's real-life alter ego has had a guess.
I was really surprised that Armando Iannucci took an OBE, and I tweeted that I don't think Malcolm Tucker would approve one bit. I think that I've always been an opponent of the honours system. I think if you're in the media world, I know he's not a journalist, but if you're in that world, I think that if your stock in trade is taking the mick and tweaking the tail of the establishment, then I think you add a few letters to your name and you're effectively saying, I am the establishment.
The establishment, Prince Charles, has also been promoted again. Like his father, he's now a Field Marshal, Admiral of the Fleet and Marshal of the Royal Air Force, the highest rank in all 3 military services. What about the other end of the scale, though, the so-called working class gong? This year sees the return of an honour scrapped nearly 20 years ago, partly because it was seen as second-rate. The British Empire Medal has been awarded to 293 people across the country for services to their local communities, as Fatima Manji reports.
Ebenezer Turner, Sedgefield coalman for 50 years, despite being completely blind. British Empire Medal, 1982.
I know most places, I know every person, I know every voice, I know where I'm going.
Seamus McSporran, postman, fireman, funeral director, policeman and petrol pump attendant. Just 5 of his 14 jobs on the Scottish island of Gea. British Empire Medal, 1989. Seamus and Ebenezer were typical British Empire Medal recipients, an honour that became known as the working class gong, bestowed not by the Queen, but by one of her local Lord Lieutenants. Then, in 1993, John Major scrapped the honour, seen as part of a bid to make Britain a more classless society. But now it's back, reintroduced by David Cameron to reward those who contribute to what he calls the big society. So today, nearly 300 people learnt they will be recipients, like Anthony Cleland. For 25 years, he's swept the streets of Lambeth.
I mean, it was a standing joke in the area. You deserve a medal for your job. I said, no, I'll never get one of them. Now the blue, I'm getting one. Rain, shine, snow, sleet, wind, all types of weather, I'm out here working.
Not everyone's so pleased. Some critics say it's the return of a 2-tier system, something those responsible for awarding honours are quick to deny.
I don't think it's anything to do with class. It's just about the difference between the kind of contribution that people are making. And I think there's a risk if we don't have something like the BEM that we'll lose out on recognising that very local, hands-on contribution.
But if it wasn't to do with class, why was it scrapped in the first place?
Well, you'd have to go back and look in the annals of time. That's a terrible answer, isn't it? So try again. I don't know. Why was it scrapped?
In the end, they decided. The BEM and MBE criteria had become blurred. But for critics of these honours, it's not just categories, but their names which are controversial.
It is a grotesque idea to bring back the word empire when we A, no longer have one, B, ought to be ashamed of the one that we had, because empire is just organised crime. It's going to other people's countries, killing them and stealing their things.
But while they might change the name, even the most vehement critics are in favour of celebrating society's unsung heroes.